I'm honored to have this brother back on my show. We did an interview a couple of months ago, about a month or so ago, and it went really, really good. I encourage everybody out there to check it out. I'm going to put the link in the description. He is one of the original members from the Bangin on Wax original tape and Pyru Love, and I really think if you enjoyed that time in history, especially when it comes to music and hip hop and things like that, you'll appreciate that interview. So I'll make sure I post that below. But ladies and gentlemen, on the line to talk about his life and talk about why you don't want to go down a certain road and waste a lot of your time, be it in prison or losing a lot of friends. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, I have Leak. What up, Leak?
What up, everybody? What's up, Dusty?
Man, nothing much, man. Definitely appreciate you joining the channel, and let's save some lives today, man. Hopefully there's some kids listening, and if we change one life, I'm good with that.
Right, and I feel the same way, you know. I put a lot of negative energy out there, you know what I'm saying, in my youth. So trying to, give back a little bit. And then my whole thing about doing this interview was, a lot of what's happening is a lot of dudes are getting into these gangs and not knowing what they're getting into. And then once they get into it, you know what I'm saying, they either getting killed by their own homies or, you know what I'm saying, just not knowing that this how real it is, you know, and they end up getting killed because they're not paying attention. Or, you know, just the whole getting involved and not knowing what you're getting into, and then you turn around and then you snitching, and you get your life, you put your life in danger behind something that you thought was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
so
it's going to be a deep show. Well, I got a list right here of things you wanted to talk about. So let's start with the first thing, and then I'll let you just, do your thing, and I'll jump in every once in a while. But the first thing on the list was the reason why you started banging.
Okay. So yeah, let's get into that. So first off, I'm from Inglewood, the city of Inglewood, if you don't know, from Avenue Pyru, APG, and we located on Crenshaw, between the 109th, 104th, and 108th. So those are our blocks. You know what I'm saying? And then we're not a big gang, but we like a small, tight knit gang, and we got different blocks, like my brother came up with a thing because like all my homies was banging, you know what I'm saying? They would be block tripping, you know what I'm saying?
Let's remind everybody, your brother is the late, great Red Rum 781.
Oh yeah, Red Rum 781. Yeah, so a lot of my homies used to be block tripping. We from the 9, the click, you got the 9 click, the 8 click, and the 4 click. And, we're not a really big hood. I mean, we got like 6 generations, but, it's like we all we got, you know what I'm saying? So, he just decided to call us to make everybody push 489 just as one instead of 104, 108, 109. So, that's where the 489 come in at. So yeah, we a small gang in Inglewood. We like to laugh. It's funny because we like to laugh blood gang in Inglewood, like on the Crenshaw side. So we're all the way in the corner, the last little neighborhood in Inglewood. So, and right across us, we got it starts Hawthorne, on the left of us, and to the back of us, we got the Rolling 100s. It's nothing but Crips. It's like the opposite side of Inglewood. We got like 7 blood gangs in Inglewood, and they got on their side across Van Ness, they got like 7, 8 Crip gangs on their side. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's real close. Everything is like real close. So, and what made me start banging was, basically just trying to be cool, being a follower. You know what I'm saying? Like not having that real guidance, not having no father in our lives. We had our stepfather, but he wasn't really paying us too much attention. We were just young, and he was with my mom. Which as I'm a man now today, I understand. That if you don't have certain kids by certain women, it's not really the same love that you would have for your own. So, but he did look out for us, and he did. I appreciate him and everything, but it was nothing like having our own father. So we was rebellious, and we was just getting out there trying to mingle with the fellas in the neighborhood, and everybody was fly, and you know what I'm saying, they was getting all the girls, and you know what I'm saying, I like they swag and everything. So me and my best friend, I became real close with one of the dudes from my neighborhood, and I really wasn't banging. So everywhere I be with him, sometimes we be getting into stuff and it'd be on him, and I'm just standing there, but I'm a ride with my homie. So eventually I'm just like, man, shit, I'm just going to be from it too. So that's how I started.
And What is it like when you first start joining the gang, going to the second subject?
Yeah. So basically, what a lot of people don't know, when you first join the gang, it's like, you first join in the army, right? They need some frontline soldiers, some dudes that's gonna go out there and make stuff happen, and keep the name alive. So what your obligation is to be a frontline soldier. You got to, what I'm saying, a lot of dudes don't know you got to come to the hood every day, or if not every day, like if you're real young teenager, you can't come to the hood every day because your parents and all that, but you better make your way over there as much as you can, possibly, as much as possible, because what happens is when homies don't see you, they start not trusting you. You know what I'm saying? What he up to? Who he is? He over there with the enemies, or what I'm saying? So with that being said, they want you to, you joined it. Like, they didn't pick you. You chose the game. So now you chose the game. You got to do whatever they tell you. You know what I'm saying? They usually give you your nickname. They'll give you a nickname. You know what I'm saying? Like with myself, like people be like, why they call you Leak? Why they call you Little Leak? So when I first joined, it was a dude. His name was Malik, and they called him Leaky B. So, I barely knew him. I didn't know him really good like that. So, I just heard of him. And that day, that weekend that I had got put on, that week that I came to school, I had friends that was already from it. So, what I'm saying? They was just like, man, we heard, what I'm saying? Woo, woo, in there, we heard, you from the hood now, woo, woo. Big Leaky B wants you to be his deuce. So let me explain what a deuce is. Like, it's basically like your junior. Like say my real name is James, right? So if I was gang banging and my name was James Rue or something like that, then I would adopt a little James Rue, and then my little James Rue will adopt a baby James Rue, and then baby James Rue will adopt tiny James Rue, and it just go on and on. So that's how the gang life works. You end up being under people who's already established sometimes, and then what that does is it brings the pressure on you, because you got to, especially if he's a known name and he, be out there doing this stuff, you got to keep up with that. Or if not, but you're either going to keep up with it or make it even bigger. You know what I'm saying? Or, you ain't going to be that name too much for long, or, you're going to get treated kind of messed up,
Mm.
So basically your job is to be your behind in the hood as much as you can, frontlining it, which means, what I'm saying, you gotta hold the thing. You gotta make sure homies are safe. If something pull up a little funky, you gotta handle it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be the first one. You gotta be the first one if a case if somebody like one of the homies who got cases already, and if he get caught up, he gonna do life. So you, as a little homie, you gotta protect him. You know what I'm saying? And take his case. Sometimes it go like that, So it's a hard thing. It's not no easy little task, because if you don't come around, they get on you. The homies get on you.
And this is stuff that most people probably, or a lot of people probably don't know before they join.
Did
right?
Because they used to just go into the parties and seeing the homies hanging out and just hanging out with them. Like, a lot of people don't know, man. You really don't have to join the gang to be a part of the gang. You know what I'm saying? You really could just hang out with them and do them favors, and they consider you, an honorary member. You know what I'm saying? But you're not obligated to do what everybody else has to do. So it's kind of like better if you cool with gang members, just be cool with them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when you go to jail or you go places, they're gonna ask you where you live at, and if they ask you where you live at and you say the wrong neighborhood, they're gonna automatically assume that you cool with those guys. So that's why that could be a problem too.
Talk about what's next on the list, the position people play and how big homies play a major role in the beginning until you see their weakness.
Okay, so yeah. So as far as positions, you got all kind of different positions. As far as, when you banging, you got the dude who who goes all the way, and the dude that goes all the way gets the most respect. You know what I'm saying? He's like the big dog, because he's willing to go all the way. Then you got the guys who's just the money man. You know what I'm saying? Got the guys who just hood ornaments. They just around just to be around. Ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? When it goes down, they ain't gonna do nothing. You got so everybody has like different positions, but you get treated accordingly. You know what I'm saying? If you're the man that's doing the most, you're gonna get praised and treated right. You know what I'm saying? But if you doing less, or you're not doing too much, you're gonna get punked. Ain't nobody gonna respect you. You know what I'm saying? So when you see a member, if he a real member, he doing his stuff. So I'll be telling a lot of these females, if you want to be with these thugs, but there's a lot to come with these thugs. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what they out there doing.
Mm.
And, you could be in the car with them and they could have been did something last night. And you don't know. You just think he's just a regular thug, but he really one of them elite thugs. You know what I'm saying? So, and them elite thugs, it come with a lot. Once your name get known, people want to get rid of you because they feel like you're too popular, and you know what I'm saying, you got a lot of people that's gonna do what you say. So you a big problem. You know what I'm saying?
You put on here, the more dangerous you are, the more respect you get. Talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, when you willing to go all the way, and you know what I mean by all the way.
Right.
When you willing to take it there, then yeah, you respect it because you know what I'm saying? That's like a sergeant in the army, and he put everybody on his shoulder and he roll. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get the most respect, and he do the craziest stuff. He gonna be respected. Same thing with the gangs. Gang is nothing but a small army. That's all it is. So like I said, and then like as far as like the big homies, like when you're young, you looking up to these guys. So you can be looking up to them, and they could be straight dirtbags. You know what I'm saying? Rapists and doing foul shit. You know what I'm saying? But when you grow older, you realize that these dudes, and then, most of these dudes be pumping you up to do stuff that they ain't willing to do. And then when you go do it, now they looking at you like, oh, this dude is crazy, but you the one told me to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you got, then once the young homies grow up and see who is who, that's when the disrespect starts. That's when the little homies start turning against the big homies type stuff. Because sometimes the big homies be pushing that bull, and they ain't willing to do what they want you to do, and then you go to jail to get caught up, or one of your members get killed, and now he tucked off somewhere and talking about it on the phone to other homies type stuff, and not even trying to look out for the situation. So people got to be careful of that, who they look up to.
Mm. Yeah, I'm loving this conversation. We're gonna bounce around this list, but we're gonna cover everything. But I'm
yes, sir.
Based on what you're kind of going with. But you talked about it's like joining the army. Talk about wartime.
Okay, so basically, so wartime can spark up from any little thing, like, because a lot of times gangs, even though they rivals and they be right across the street from each other, they really don't attack each other. It's only when the writing on the wall starts. If you come out, like say I went, across the way and I start hitting up and cross them out, like, which people don't know, writing on the wall is your symbolism of representing your neighborhood. And, so most of us, we mark our territory, if in our neighborhood, we mark our territory. So people don't, that's okay because that's your hood. So, only people that's going to come and mess with it is enemies. So once the enemies come and mess with it, then they've been coming through. So once they've been coming through, then that means it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? And kind of do your stuff. And then once that started, it's just back and forth. It's just back and forth until the police get involved, till somebody die. And you know what I'm saying? When somebody dies, it gets even worse because either side, it ain't gonna stop until they get that same type of revenge. So it gets ugly out here, and you got to be ready for it. And just because you get away with it, don't mean they ain't thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll get down to it, to the bottom of it. And a lot of these girls that be, hanging with these gang members, they there for the fame. They're not necessarily there for, when it goes down. Because when it goes down, then they running and they telling the enemies. You know what I'm saying? They'll go talk to the enemies and tell them stuff about us, or their girls will come tell us stuff about them. And you know what I'm saying? It's just real wicked, you know. It just get real wicked out here, and you never know who to trust because you got people that play both sides. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it goes down like that.
Talk about
and not only
go ahead,
that
go
when
ahead.
I'm sorry about that.
No,
But not
no.
only that when it's wartime, it's like anybody can be a victim. Your brother, your sister, your girlfriend, anybody. You know what I'm saying? And there's no remorse. You know. So, you know, a lot of you women and you youngsters, you know what I'm saying, be careful when you hang it with gang members because it's a lot to come with it.
And not only that, your innocent family members who have no idea what you're out there doing in the streets. Someone could come and shoot the home up, and next thing you know, grandma's head, auntie's head, little cousin's head.
Exactly. And that happened to me, you know. I was out there, you know, doing my stuff and tripping and, you know, wilding and got my house shot up. You know, my bedroom. You know, because I mean, I know both sides, so a lot of people knew where me and my brother lived for a long time. Like a lot of Crips knew because we lived more on the Crips side. Like I said, we was the last hood in our little corner pocket, and you know, a lot of Crips knew us. So you know, when stuff will go down, you know, and that's another thing. They don't. If an individual do something, they don't say, "Oh, it was black man," you know, or whatever his nickname is. They don't say that. They gonna say it was that neighborhood. So you could catch heat from just one of your homies just out there wilding one night, and they know he from the neighborhood. So now they gonna come take it out on your whole neighborhood. You know. And I never like me. I was always like never wanted to be from no big hood because with big hoods, they got a whole lot going on and too many people doing this and doing that. You can't keep up with everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to keep up with everybody. So.
Dang. Okay. You know, you mentioned Crips earlier. One of the things on the list is that Crips were bullies. Can you break that down?
Yeah. So, yeah. And you know what I'm saying? And no disrespect, but you know, that's how I want to talk about. This is how blood came about. If you go back in history, you'll see how the Crips were trying to make everybody turn to be Crips. So basically, the Bloods was kind of formed for being anti-bullies. You know what I'm saying? They stop the Crips from going certain places, taking over, and you know what I'm saying. That's how Bloods was formed. So in my neighborhood, we had a lot of that too. Like the Crips was trying to be bullying dudes and pulling up, jumping out. You know what I'm saying? Dudes that don't even bang. You know what I'm saying? So. And that type of stuff, it makes dudes be like, man, I want to be affiliated because I want to go get them, you know? So when I was coming up, we was so outnumbered, it was ridiculous. You know, everywhere we go, jail, schools, except in Inglewood, because, you know what I'm saying, we kind of had Inglewood sold up as far as schools, but like everywhere we go, you know, it's just more Crips everywhere. So that's what kind of like, I'm like an underdog type of person anyway, you know, so I was like, I ain't about to roll with the majority. I'm going to roll with you know what I'm saying, the underdog. So that's what kind of made me choose that side too, as well.
Talk about new recruits.
Oh, yeah. So new recruits, it's like it's a deep thing because the new recruits, you got to be real careful of because a lot of new recruits, like back in my day, we all came up in my neighborhood. I grew up in my neighborhood. We all, like all my friends that I grew up with, all lived in the neighborhood. So we was all accountable when something happens. Nowadays, it's like you got people they'll be from the east side of LA and come and get put on an Inglewood gang. Or they'll be from West LA and go get put on an East LA, you know what I'm saying, like a East Side gang in LA, you know, so everybody be all over the place. So you kind of like got to be careful with that because these little youngsters, they really in it for the fame and for different unknown reasons. But you know what I'm saying, most of them be not too good. You know, it's like they'll get put on and then get ran off, and then you got little homies who are from the hood. They get jealous when the new recruits come in. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they want to be favored, so they don't like it when it's like. It's like when a mother has a new child, and a new child comes in, and he's jealous of the firstborn. You know what I'm saying? Because he want all the attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that in gangs, man.
Mm.
So yeah, new recruits, they have it kind of rough sometimes. The only new recruits that don't have it really rough, if they just gangster off the gate. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody gangster off the gate really. Everybody who joins gangs, a lot of people be halfway soft and get molded into being tough. You know what I'm saying? Or being molded to that super crip or super blood. You know what I'm saying? They don't just start off that way. But some people it do. You know, you got some dudes that just thugging, just straight thugs. So and then that's the ones that, you know what I'm saying, we want to recruit. Like, oh, this dude wild. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much gonna be in jail anyway later, so might as well be from the hood. So, that's how that type of shit works sometimes.
Mm. Yeah, and I want everybody out there to know this isn't a glorification. We're doing this show to hopefully deter people from going down that route.
Right.
So I just want to make it very, very clear out there. So these items that we're discussing, that's the main focus. But one of them that I found very interesting was why your own homies can become your worst enemy. Can you break that down?
Yeah. So like I say, there's a lot of jealousy in this gang world, depending on who you are. Like even if you got family members, you know what I'm saying? It's still like people be jealous of you, if you're making too much money, if you got all the girls, they jealous. It's just a lot of reasons why your own homies can be jealous of you, and they sometimes, a lot of gangs, they will turn on you. And there's nothing for hoods nowadays to kill each other, So that's, it gets real dangerous like that because, most of the members, they know you, they know where you live, especially if you're friends with them, they got your phone number, they can get at you anytime. So, if they don't like you, they say they just want to turn on you, they know where to find you. They know where to come get you at. And you know what I'm saying? So it get real tricky sometimes. Like if you ain't no solid dude, you know what I'm saying? And you playing both sides, not both sides like Bloods and Crips, but you got one foot in and one foot out. That shit it's treacherous. It get dangerous. So you always gotta keep your both feet in and be ready at all times. And when you get that phone call, you gotta jump up and go. You know what I'm saying? You can't be, my baby is, I ain't got nobody to watch my baby. You better go find somebody, you know what I'm saying? Because your obligation is first and foremost is to your hood because you joined that shit, So you got to stop and drop when it's time. And, you got a lot of dudes that don't do that and then they get marked out. Then they can't come around no more, Yeah, it gets real bad for some people.
One of the
so a lot of gangs can start at, like say you. So this is another thing about gangs. Say you start off with 10 dudes that y'all all got put on at the same time. Give it 3 to 5 years, it's only be maybe 1 or 2 of them left.
Damn.
And I'm not talking about just death. They're gonna either be in prison, either die, or either fell off and just stop coming around. I've seen it happen so many times, and not just with my hood, it's with other hoods. You know what I'm saying? That who I function with. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a dude, little whoopty whoop, and he be around for a good 5 years, and next thing you know, you won't never see him again. But those are people you got to be careful of because they be the snitches. You got dudes that be informants. They'll go to jail for one crime, and just because they want to get out that crime, they gonna tell on your crime. So it's it get real ugly in these gangs, man.
That's what I wanted to talk about next was the snitching part. There's a big myth that's my homie, that's my ride or die, man. We down for life. He ain't gonna do, man. If we go down together, we both doing 99 years, man. Together, we gonna like a G. And then your homie hears those football numbers when he's in court and he starts singing like a bird. But can you talk about the snitching aspect, man? And that's one of the biggest things that should deter anybody from joining a gang.
Right. Okay. So that's happening more often than usual because the consequences aren't the same, Like back in when I was coming up in the 90s, you know what I'm saying, 2000, early 2000 stuff, when you a snitch, you X'd out, you ain't coming back, or you know what I'm saying, they gonna do something to you, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get something done to you treacherous, then you know you outcasted. So you're not gonna want to come around anyway, because ain't nobody gonna accept you. You're gonna have to take phase every time they see you. If not, they're gonna be popping at you, shooting at you, you know, or you know, you might get killed. You know what I'm saying? Back then, nowadays, it's crazy because they got, you know, like what Mitchie Slick said, selective politicking. You got dudes who will snitch, but it depends on what he snitched on, why he could come back. You know what I'm saying? So it get weird like that. Or you got dudes that they'll snitch, be gone for a long time, where everybody be done forgot or something, and then they'll come back around and be around just, they won't come around everybody, but they'll come around certain dudes, like dudes that not really ain't tripping like that. They ain't gonna say nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, long as he didn't do it to them, they really ain't gonna say nothing, you know what I'm saying? They gonna look past it, like maybe he might be getting money or something, or he got a play that he wanna hook the homies up with, so they'll look past what he did, you know, and let him come back around sometimes, you know. So it's weird like that. It's not like before. You could snitch and still kind of come around, you know, depending on who you are. Back then, it wasn't no coming back around. It wasn't no, you know, your life was in real danger, you know. But it's different now. But even in the pen, you know, you got more PC yards than they got regular yards. So it's just, that's a part of the normal life now with games, because that telling will get you out of your situation. So do you want to get out your situation, or do you want to go, you know, do time for something when you know you can tell on somebody else and they gonna let you right out, which that's not fair. As far as the police go, that ain't fair for a motherfucker can tell on you and then he get out of his situation. That's some bull crap. But that's the way it go, man. Yeah.
Let's talk about backdooring. Break that down.
Yeah, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, allegedly, what happened to Nipsey, you know, and that happens all the time. You know, it happens more than people think, you know. You have a dude with money, and, you know what I'm saying, he might not be spreading it to everybody. He only spreading it to this clique, because that's his clique, you know what I'm saying? And the rest of y'all, you know, he gonna watch y'all starve or something. And them starving wolves, they gonna get at the person who's, you know, got the bread and giving the money to only certain people. So you got that type of stuff, and you got people that's just jealous, you know, like let me give another example. Just your own homies, you know what I'm saying, knowing stuff about you, and they'll do stuff like go back and tell your girl just because they want to mess with your girl, you know what I'm saying, they want to see you out the way so they can be with your girl type stuff. Or, you know, even with murder, you know, they know you got some play going on, or you got this safe in the house with 100 racks or something, and, you know, they'll set you up, you know what I'm saying, to get you killed because they want a piece of that action, you know. And who best to do it but the people that know you, you know. So a lot of that goes down, you know. A lot of like I mentioned on there about, you know what I'm saying, the women, like your girl, you know. It's time you don't bring your girl around homies, you know what I'm saying, because homies be so thirsty, they don't care that that's your girl, you know what I'm saying. They're trying to snatch your girl. Like a lot of dudes be, you know, you got a lot of dudes that die, and then they homies be with their baby mamas and they wives and stuff. You know, it's cold. It's a cold world. Yeah, it's a lot of that going on. You know, so you know these women be cold blooded too. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, man, it's a lot to just being in the game. You see on the outside it looks good and everything, but it's a whole lot you got to deal with. You know, all different people getting into all kind of different situations, and then they call they make it a hood situation. They might be in a family situation, but they'll make it a hood situation, calling meetings and all this for personal stuff. And you know, you got to check that type of stuff, because you got homies that'll use they hood for anything. They get into it at a gas station with a non-affiliate and get beat up. You know what I'm saying? They calling the whole hood, and you know what I'm saying, you calling out wolves and, you know what I'm saying, killers for a little punk ass situation that you could just took a fade with it. You lost. Fuck it. You can get up and move on. You know what I'm saying? Or go get your get back. Whatever you're gonna do. You know. But it's just treacherous out here, you know.
The next one is one that I want to discuss. You put tattoos. Talk to us about why you put that down.
Yeah, I put tattoos down because, you know what I'm saying, like me personally, I have no tattoos, zero tattoos, but that don't mean that, you know what I'm saying, I ain't down or I ain't, you know what I'm saying, with the business like everybody else. But, you know, a lot of guys get tattoos, you know, that's it's a hood honor. But a lot of that, a lot of times that be like a scare tactic, you know what I'm saying, to make you, you know, scared of them because they bang. And, you know what I'm saying, it's like, you know, tattoos is cool, you know what I'm saying, but that don't mean everything just because you got, you know what I'm saying, you tatted up and all that. That don't mean everything. That don't mean that you got a bigger heart than a nigga that's not tatted, or, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, basically that's all, really, pretty much.
I would like to talk a little bit more about tattoos, actually, because, you know, back in your time, you know, let's go 80s, 90s, you know, tattoos weren't as popular as they are now. Now you have people with whackouts on their forehead and, you know,
right.
this and that. What do you think, you know, in general, people who, you know, have tattoos where I guess they could be easily identifiable?
Well, those type of people, you know, I feel like that they don't care. You know, I'm not saying that they busters or nothing, but they don't care. You know what I'm saying? So they want you to see it, so you don't have to ask. You know what I'm saying? Those type of people, they just, I don't know. You know, that came from jail. You know, a lot of Hispanics and a lot of Aryan brothers. That's what they did. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if for sure, but I kind of wondered that the brothers like pick that up because, you know, they want to be just as treacherous looking as them, because we didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't put tattoos all on our face. You know what I'm saying? The most was the neck. The neck was like the most, but now it's like all over your face, on your chin, under your eyelids, and it's getting ridiculous. But them type of people, I feel like that they don't really care. They don't really have. I ain't gonna say they don't have nothing to live for, but they just, you know what I'm saying, they going all out for their hood, and you know they get in the most trouble. You know, unless they got money and they, you know what I'm saying, tucked away somewhere. But yeah, most of them, you know, they don't last long.
As a couple, I saved these two for last for a reason, because I really want to detour kids, because they're really, it's not just a cliche, you know. Death or prison is almost certain, you know, if you join that life and you're really, really, really about it out there doing your thing. Those are almost certain. I never banged, but I talked to way too many people who told me that that's the case. But you wrote down jail. Talk to us about jail and prison, and hopefully to deter kids, because it's just sad how many people of color are behind bars right now.
Right. So I wrote jail down because basically that's where you're gonna head. That's where you're headed to when you join the gang. You're gonna go to jail, because you're going to be in a stolen car. You're going to get caught with drugs. You're going to do some type of crime to where you're going to get put in jail. So you got to be ready. And see, when you go to jail, it's a whole different ball game, because it's really, in a county jail, it's different from prison. So in a county jail, it's all about a race. It's a race thing. And by us being Bloods and Crips, it messes us up, because when we go in there, we the only race that will go into county jail and fight each other behind gangs. When the Hispanics, when they go to jail, everything is off limits, you know what I'm saying, as far as gangs. They all got to get along. Like, it happens with blacks, but you got to get everything off your chest first, you know what I'm saying? Which, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, when you go to jail, like these youngsters, they'll go to jail, you're going to fight. If you bang, you're going to fight. There's no getting around that, because when you walk into these dorms, you got gangs from all over LA. And when you join a gang, you know, you automatically adopt enemies, no matter if you didn't do nothing to them or not. You just got automatic enemies. And once you say your neighborhood, they gonna think about they homie that got killed by a nigga from your neighborhood, and you know, they're going to hold their revenge against you, whether you was involved or not. So jail, you know, can be very treacherous for somebody that's scary, because you're going to fight and you can't go in there and tuck your tail. You got to stand up, chin out, you know what I'm saying, and stand tall. Because once anybody find any little weakness, they gonna eat you alive. You be paying for niggas clothes. I mean, not clothes, but commissary. You be paying for food for people. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna be somebody's bitch. And then once your homies find out, it's over. You gonna get your ass kicked in the hood if they allow you to still be from the hood. You know. But yeah, you show weakness in there, it gets back to the streets. And it's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, it's a wrap for you. Your own homies gonna dog you out. Unless you just come home and just majorly prove yourself, and you know what that means. So yeah, so jail is a treacherous place, and it's a treacherous. I mean, you're bound to go to jail during this. If you stay in it long enough.
God forbid you go to prison and do a lot of time. One thing I've heard from a couple of people I know who are doing serious time right now is that, you know, you are out in the streets, you're going at your enemy, they're taking lives, you're taking lives, your family members are passing, their family members are passing. But when you get in prison, it's about black, it's about numbers. So you have to adjust to sit down next to somebody who may have took your cousin's life, or, you know what I'm saying, it's from the set that took your brother's life. You know what I'm saying? Can you talk about that aspect? Because that has to be a hard thing to adjust to.
Yeah, well, I've never been to prison, but I know, like, I got all my close homies. I have one of my homies from the 60s, his name Roddy Bam. He was a lifer. My boy Baby Sick, that was one of my close partners, he was a lifer. Lil Hawk, close friend, he was a lifer. You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of lifers, and I know a lot of like people who've done life and people who've done like 10, 15 years. And, you know, they tell me it's the same thing. Yeah. In there, it's about respect. You know, you can't even fight your enemy unless you ask one of the head dudes from the black card, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, can I, you know, and then they gonna want to know what's the situation. Okay, why? All right. And if it's a decent situation, they'll let it go down, but they gonna do it behind. They ain't gonna do it in front of the other races. You know what I'm saying? Which makes sense. So yeah, it's really about race, because you got a whole nation of Mexicans, Hispanics, who, you know what I'm saying, like, they have their people, you have your people, the whites have their people, then you have others, you know what I'm saying, which a lot of others, they roll with the blacks, like Asians, Tongans, things of that, because the simple fact that the Hispanics be on the Asians. They don't like Asians, you know what I'm saying? So they'll come and be with us. You know what I'm saying? You know how blacks are. We accept everybody. You know what I'm saying? We don't really be on that race stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You know, so, you know, the brothers, from what I hear, you know what I'm saying, they accept, you know what I'm saying, a lot of different races. You know what I'm saying? Just to make the black card deep like the Hispanic card is, or like the Aryan brothers card is. Or, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we got to all have each other's back, from what I understand. But yeah, that's got to be a hard pill to swallow, though. Somebody, you know, you've been fighting with all your life, and then, you know, you get caught up and you go in there, and you ain't got to be his friend, but you got to have a mutual understanding, you know?
Yeah. And I left this one for last specifically because, man, a coffin, once again, one of the roads that, you know, is definitely there. But if you could put a number on it, you know, you don't have to, but if you could put a number on it, how many friends, family members would you say you've lost over the years? Not just from your set, but yeah, I always hear that.
Right.
Man, I always get that response.
I'm telling you, it was a point where I was going to a funeral every year. So not just from just my side of Inglewood. I'm just going to speak on just my side of Inglewood. It got to be at least, since I started, which I started in 90, it was either 90, it was between 89 and 91 when I started. You know what I'm saying? Officially, like, being from it. So between then and now, I can at least, because I could count at least, and all these people haven't died from killings and shit. It's like sicknesses and not killings, and maybe like one of the homies died in jail and stuff like that. But 30 just from my neighborhood.
Wow. And
maybe from Crenshaw Mafia, all the homies that I've known throughout the time. I'll say at least maybe 20. You know what I'm saying? A good 20 of them, or about a good 20 of them since the '90s, since the early '90s. The families, man, there's no telling because a lot of them, it was like a lot of them was like they was getting into it with each other, so they lost a lot too. Now, I'm not, I know a lot of families, but I don't know that many more than like I know the Crenshaw Mafias or the Center Park. But they lost a lot. But I haven't been to like a lot of their funerals. I've been to a few, but not a lot. And then, on the other side of Inglewood, that's just a whole different, because it's like two sides of Inglewood. We consider our side the Crenshaw side, which is the Avenue, Center Park, Crenshaw Mafia, Inglewood family. But Inglewood family, they in the middle of the city, so they like on both sides. And then on the other side, you got Neighborhood Pirate, Queen Street, CPF, Centennial Park family. Yeah, so you got all that going on that side. So it's like two different sides. So we really don't function with each other. Like, I mean, we function with each other, but not like how the Crenshaw Mafia is in the Avenues. Like we right across the street from each other, so we kick it a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then, Center Parks, we all grew up together. We know them a lot. You know what I'm saying? Hung out with them a lot. So we just like our little circle right there is like kind of tight. So, that's just how it be.
Thank you for that list. But I have one more thing I would love to talk with you about on a personal level, if it's cool with you. But one of my favorite blood rappers of all time, his life was taken from him way too, early. I think he would have been the biggest thing ever. But can you tell us anything about B-Brazy? Did you know B-Brazy much? Did you hang out with him?
I knew Braze pretty good, real good actually. Like I met him through his other homie, Lil Laniac.
Laniac dudes.
And so they was trying to get on, on the Bangin on Wax, but we knew them from coming up to like Darby Park, and the lanes always function with Inglewood, so just passing, and then we met them guys, and Braves was cool. We ended up staying like later on in life, we stayed around the corner from each other in Hawthorne for like a couple years. He was a real down to earth, funny dude, real into this banging life though. He was like, one of them ones that, he was never gonna stop. It don't seem like it. He was never gonna stop, or he may have calmed down a little bit, but he was in it for the long haul, and he was a good dude, man. He was real, like I said, he was real funny, you could tell in his music. He had character. He was a good dude, man. Let me see some things I can tell you about Mr. Bruce.
Real name is Bruce, huh?
Us in the studio when we did, his name is Bruce. So we was in the studio, doing Downward Riders 2, we all got really, really tight, because the reason why we did Downward Riders 2 was because they had a last album deal, and it was really for Braze and Little Hawk to get who they was going to get and to do the last album. But Braze really didn't, have no homies like that. Well, he had homies that rap, but I don't know what transpired why he didn't bring nobody along. But he came and got me and my brother, and then he came and got we Green Eyes. He went and got Green Eyes. It was like, do this for Lil Hawk. So we was like, man, we all with it. Let's do it. So that's kind of how that came about.
Yeah, he was really good, homie. Really good.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but it's out there on the internet if anyone wants to look it up. But is there anything you could tell us without telling us too much, obviously, about how his life was taken from him?
See, now that it's a mystery because it's like a bunch of different stories going around about that, and it's really something I really can't speak on, because like I said, this gang shit goes real deep, you know what I'm saying? And you got other gangs on top of gangs, which what I mean, you got prison gangs that like spread out to the streets, and they have those prison rules on the streets. So like you got, Bloods that's they're from hoods, but they're from another type of entity. Like they Bloods, but they from another section of Bloods. You know what I'm saying? Or you got the Crips. They Crips, and they from their neighborhood, but they from a elite section of Crips. So you know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff happened in that world that, you know what I'm saying, the regular gang members don't even be knowing about because it's a secret society. So you got that you got to deal with too. You know what I'm saying? So
R.I.P. Brazy.
You know,
say less.
It was yeah. So yeah, it's deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Well, one thing that's for certain is he was really talented. His voice was, I akin it to like an Easy E. It's just very distinctive. Is that the best word I'm looking for?
Right.
You know, B-Brazy when you hear it, you know,
right.
so let's get happy. It's just so like.
And he just had character, man. I'm telling you, this man was so funny, man. He'll have you laughing like people don't even know how funny he was. He'll have you laughing all the time, like he had a character. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was a character, man. Good dude, man. You know, it's just unfortunate, you know, he was just in his life real deep. You know what I'm saying? He was in it real deep, and you know, unfortunately, you know, that's what took him. You know. But
did anyone tell you about the recording of that classic song "Damo Riders," which is just a dope ass compared to Pyro? Next to Pyro Love is probably my second favorite. You know, song in the
you said did they tell us about it when they did
it? Or were you there? Do you know anything about the recording of the Damo Riders?
So me and Lil Hawk, we just have, you know, we've been hanging out a lot lately and getting some music and stuff together and trying to, you know, bring this thing back a little bit, you know, and we just been talking about, you know, because if you remember, I told you when we stopped banging on wax, the reason why we stopped was because my mom seen the contract and was like, oh, this ain't right. So once we had stopped dealing with the label. We dealt with Lil Hawk and them on the streets. We was right across the street from them. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? Our homies from the hood, you know what I'm saying? So we went to school and dealt with them on the streets. But as far as the music go, we stopped doing the music. So what Lil Hawk was telling me, like, after the Bangin' on Wax, Ronnie owed 2 more albums. So basically, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to let him break that down to you. You know what? I'm going to save that, but I'm going to let him break that down to you. But he has a story of how the Damu Riders came about and the Nationwide Riders came about.
Cool.
So
I can't wait.
I'll let him kind of explain that to you.
Yeah.
Because after that, we left and we was on the death row. And they were still over there at Dangerous.
That's right.
So, you know. Yep. Right. So,
man, yeah, I can't wait to have Lil Hawk on my show. And once again, appreciate you for making that connection. Before we head out, man, is there any last words you have? You know, even if it's to the kids, to the people who in the street banging right now, you know, and
I just want to basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not bitter about what happened in my life, and I'm not bitter about, you know what I'm saying, the lives I lost. You know, I hate that things went that way. And, you know, we was all, everybody, I'm talking about both sides. We are part of this destruction of each other for really an unknown reason. But we just so prideful that we won't, you know what I'm saying, put our rags down and say, you know what, this is stupid. Because all members I know that's really with this shit, they know the truth. It's really all for nothing. You know, it's supposed to be a revolution thing, and then a revolutionary thing, and then it turned into black on black crime, black hate. You know what I'm saying? So if you look, I was looking at a picture of the 92 Truths, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and look at those pictures, man, you will see how happy brothers was holding rags together, shaking their homies, shaking their enemies' hands, hugging them. You know what I'm saying? How happy that moment was. That alone tells you that people in LA is tired. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
The Pyru Truths they just had. I mean, the Pyru walk they just had.
Yeah, that was big.
People tired, man. That was big. That was,
shout out to YG, the game, Fruit Town, and Treetop. Oh man, that made me so happy when I saw that.
Shout out to their OGs, because that's who made it happen. You know what I'm saying? All the OGs on the Pyro section. You know what I'm saying? They brought that together because they tired. You know. But I really believe in my heart of all hearts, one day the Bloods and Crips is going to be non-existent. I believe that. A lot of people don't believe it, but I believe it because I think people are getting tired of funerals and, you know what I'm saying, we getting railroaded by, you know, society, and then we doing it to each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's not working for us. You know what I'm saying? So I think one day everybody will get tired and be like, you know, just hang it up. You know what I'm saying? Because like me, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Pyro. I'm from Avenues and everything, but I don't have no hatred in my heart for all Crips. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no hatred in my heart for, you know what I'm saying, Bloods or, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers. Man, I'm an individual. And you know what I'm saying? I respect who respect me, And then when the disrespect comes, then that's when I bring it. You know what I'm saying? How I need to bring it. But other than that, man, I don't got no problem with dudes. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no problem with the other side, or you know what I'm saying? Just be respectful, and I'm gonna be respectful back, and we just keep it like that, you know. But I think everybody should have that mentality and move that way. You know what I'm saying? Instead of moving off of just a color or just a look somebody give you, he might just be looking at you because he's confused. He don't know what, you know what I'm saying? But you know, we got to stop being so like hatred towards each other. I think that's in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah, know, say hi to your fellow black man. Don't mad dog. You know, you see black man passes, you say what's up, nod your head. You know, what I'm saying?
We got everybody else mad dogging us, and then everybody else want to do it to us, and then we do it to each other. It's like, come on, man.
It's crazy.
So I just want to say, you know, like one day, you know, I hopefully one day, you know, it'll be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? We can all exist and be from where we from, and still exist. You know what I'm saying? In each other's space. But y'all stay on y'all side, we stay on our side. Hey, you need to pass through. You know, if you passing through, I'm being respectful, then hey, we good. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully it'll be like that one day. And yeah, so basically that's it. And
yeah, well, hey, you keep doing
some music coming.
Yeah. Talk about your music, man.
Yeah, we got some music coming. Me and Lil Hawk, and me, myself, my partner, Roddy Bam. So we got a lot of music coming. I'm just trying to get it all right and get it together. We're gonna get these websites and these YouTube pages right. But until then, y'all stay tuned, and you know we're gonna be bringing y'all some good music soon. Some West Coast good classic music.
I told you, if there's anything I can do to help you with your YouTube pages, just little things, you know what I'm saying, that can help you get ahead further. Things that took me 6 months, you know what I'm saying, to figure out. Maybe I can teach it to you in a day, you know what I'm saying? So let me know.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we should just keep staying in touch, and I want to help you out and all that. So, and once again, I thank you. I owe you for introducing me to Lil Hawk, and just even for today, man, sharing, you know what I'm saying, your story, because you doing interviews like this is one step closer to there being that peace that you were just talking about, and I pray all the time for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We are losing too
many
people.
One more thing.
Yeah, please.
Right. So me and Lil Hawk, we're gonna be working on our podcast too, so y'all can be asking us questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you know we can give y'all more intel on our lives and things.
Please let me help. Use me as a dog. I will literally give you hours. I'm not bullshitting you. Please use me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a definitely. Okay. I want you to, because that thing should blow up. You know what I'm saying? Between your story and his story, forget about it, man. That thing can blow up. So
I'm gonna take you up on that.
Please, I promise, and I don't promise everybody. I promise you, I will help you make that thing be successful. So we'll talk more about that offline. We'll definitely talk more about that offline.
I'm gonna text you the number.
Yes.
And so y'all can.
Yeah. Text it to me. I'm gonna give him a call. I'm gonna set up initial phone call with him, and then we'll lock in a date.